Hi everyone, this is Bipin Kumar, founder of RPM Tutorials. Welcome to my channel. In my last video on compound interest, I had explained that how the amount in case of compound interest is calculated if the compounding is happening annually. So amount will be equal to P times 1 plus R by 100 raised to the power N, where A is the amount, P is the principal, R is the rate of interest per annum, and N is the number of years. But if that compounding happens half yearly, then the formula we use is A is equal to P under bracket 1 plus R by 2 divided by 100, bracket closed, raised to the power N into 2. Why we do that? Because if the compounding is happening annually, started principal, application of principal here, and it is say 1 year duration, then we calculate the interest for the whole year, and then we add that into the principal, and we keep adding for every year, right? If it is compounding is happening annually. But if the compounding happens half yearly, so you started applying your principal here, and 1 half year, and then another half year, that is 1 year. So you calculate the interest of this part, and then you get the amount here, which will be P plus I1, and that becomes the principal for the next part. Like suppose this becomes principal, say P1, and then you apply this P1 for this half year and calculate the interest I2 during this duration, and then you find the amount at the end of 1 year as the principal P1 plus the interest I2, whatever interest is earned during this duration. Okay, so your compounding is happening every half year. Now it is very natural that because you are calculating the interest for only half of the year, so the amount of interest earned will be half compared to if you are calculating the interest for the full year. And that is the reason the R is divided by 2. In this equation, R is not divided by 2, but if the compounding is happening half yearly, then the rate of interest is divided by 2. And how many durations you have for compounding? 1 duration and 2 duration. So there are 2 half year durations, and that's the reason the number of years is multiplied by 2. Okay, let's see this, how it plays out for this problem. So let's try understanding this problem from first approach, approach 1. If we solve this with first approach, so in this case I have to first calculate the interest for 1 year, right, and interest for half year, because the compounding is happening half yearly. So the interest I1 will be equal to P into R into T by 100, where P is equal to how much? 10,000. P is rupees 10,000. Rate of interest R is 8% per annum. And we are calculating that for first half year. This is for first half year. We are calculating the interest for first half year. So the time duration in number of years is only half year. So using this, then we can write I1 will be 10,000 multiplied by R multiplied with T, which is 1 by 2 divided by 100. So if we do this, and this gets cancelled. So I1 is rupees 400. So the interest earned for first half year is rupees 400. So then the amount for the first half year, and if I may write this as A1, that will be equal to P plus I1, right? So the principal in this case is 10,000 plus interest earned during that 1/2 year is 400, and therefore rupees 10,400 is the amount at the end of first half year. You recall I had made that line diagram, that this is the starting point, this is half year, and this is 1 year. Okay, so interest earned during this period I1, and the principal with P we had started. So the amount earned will be equal to interest plus the principal plus the interest earned during this half year. So this A1 is equal to 10,400. Now for the second half year, this amount becomes the principal. Let me write this as P2 for clarity, because we are talking of the second half year. So this P2 then becomes equal to rupees 10,400, and my rate of interest is same 8%, and the time duration is again only half year. So this is T is equal to half. So now what will be the interest earned during this period? That is second half year. That will be again P into R into T divided by 100. P this time is 10,400 multiplied by rate of interest 8 multiplied by time is equal to half divided by 100. So this time if I do the calculations, then this is 4, and therefore this becomes 416. That becomes the interest earned during the second half year, and therefore amount at the end of second half year will be equal to principal in the second half year and the interest earned. Principal is 10,400 plus the interest earned is 416. So therefore amount becomes 10,816 rupees. Now because we got the amount, and therefore compound interest CI at the end of 1 year duration will be the amount earned finally at the end of 1 year minus the original principal P, which will be 10,816 minus original principal is 10,000, and therefore compound interest at the end of 1 year will be equal to 816 rupees when compounding is happening half yearly. So the amount earned, total amount will be 10,816 and compound interest will be only 816. Let us keep these two, A2 which is coming 10,816 and compound interest CI is coming rupees 816. Let's keep it safe and let's see, are we getting the same thing when we apply this formula? So that is our second approach. Okay, let's do this. So when we use the formula, then the amount will be P under bracket 1 plus R divided by 2 and divided by 100. And then raised to the power n into Now, with this then, P, we know P is equal to rupees 10,000. R, because we are using the compound interest formula, so I'm using small r, that will be 8%. And the number of years is 1 year. So we would write then 10,000 by 1 plus 8 by 2 multiplied by 100 and 1 into 2, which will become 10,000, and this is 1 plus 0. This is 2 and 4, so this is 0.04 the whole square. So which will be 10,000 multiplied by 1.04 the whole square, and this will lead to 10,816. Now because amount is again rupees 10,816, so the compound interest, which will be amount earned minus the original principal, that will be 10,816 minus 10,000, and that will be equal to rupees 816. That will be the compound interest part, right? The same thing we are getting here also from the first approach. This is second approach. So from approach 2 also we got compound interest 10,816 and amount as 10,816 and compound interest as rupees 860, right? So with this example, you would have clearly understood how to calculate amount and compound interest when the compounding is happening half yearly, both from first approach as well as second approach where we use the formula. Thank you.